Hello. Just coming on now to have a discussion about mindfulness and just give some different ways in which it can be utilised sort of every day and allow yourself a period of time. It doesn't have to be a long period of time at all, but just short periods where you can let your brain just have a breather and a relax. And allow it just to focus on doing one job alongside all the others that it does in the background. And I think a lot of the time we've all mastered the multitasking and been told how incredible it is if that's something that you're good at. But actually it doesn't ever give our brain a chance to stop and just be and allow it to rest. And I think a lot of the time that is what sends us into these overthinking periods, because our brain is so used to doing 6-7 different tasks at once that when we try and sit and be quiet, or we try and relax or go to sleep, it brings in all these other thoughts and feelings and emotions and tasks that we need to do, and so it's trying to busy itself all the time. And I feel that if you can use mindfulness regularly, and we call it mindfulness practice because it takes a bit of practice, but if you use it, it's something you can actually utilize in times where you are feeling overwhelmed or stressed, or if you are struggling with sleep or just keeping your mind on task. So I find it, I've read a lot of articles about mindfulness, and sometimes people make it sound really complicated and drawn out, and like it's something you have to attain first. But for me, I have a very simple mindfulness practice, and actually I try and do my mindfulness practice every day when I brush my teeth because it's something I do twice a day, morning and in the evening, and generally speaking I do that alone, and it's just a few minutes of my time to just allow my brain to really consciously do something, and then to sort of allow itself that period of quiet. And so what I would say is that with any mindfulness practice that you want to try, whether that's mindfulness walking, brushing your teeth, washing up, breathing, it is just about being hyper aware of that one thing that you're doing. So for example, if we're going to look at mindfulness breathing, just as an example, you're going to take some time where you won't be disturbed. Again, it doesn't have to be long, just a couple of minutes to begin with, and you may wish to do it for longer. I do have periods, if I go for a mindfulness walk, that I have a good hour of just letting my brain be and just that human being, not doing for a while. So if we look at breathing, you're just gonna literally sit and think about breathing. I mean, it's not difficult, but you're going to be hyper aware of, firstly, if you're sitting or standing, what does that surface feel like beneath you? Is it hard? Is it soft? Are you comfortable? Does your body feel comfortable? And then you're going to bring that attention towards your breathing. So if you're breathing through your nose, how does that air feel coming in your nostrils? Is there a smell? Does it tickle your nose? Is it comfortable? Is it hot, cold? Is it moist? Does your nose make a noise? And then you're going to think, what happens with this air? And you're going to sort of follow that flow of air up each nostril, down your throat, and then feel your lungs expanding. Maybe you feel your rib cage expanding, maybe your stomach, that diaphragm dropping. Think about your posture. Does it change? Are you comfortable? And then about the exhale, the same. So where does that sensation start? Do you feel it in your chest, in the back of your throat, in your nostril? As the air comes out, can you feel it on the hairs in your nose? Can you feel it on your lip? Is that air warm, cold? Does it flow easily? Have you got a blocked nostril? You're bringing attention to all those tiny, minute details. And you can, whilst you're concentrating on those things, you find that your brain tends to try and shut out all the other noise. But if it starts popping in, and depending on what you're doing and for how long, it's very, very likely that thoughts jump into your head. And they're usually quite pointless, you know. They might be just distraction, where you think, oh, what are we going to have for dinner tonight? And wonder what such and such is up to. And oh, isn't the weather nice? All that happens is that you are going to become aware at some point that you've done it, that you've stopped thinking about breathing and you're now thinking about what Sandra's doing up the road. And all you need to do is notice it and then think, oh, that's funny, I'm thinking about something else. The noticing is bringing your awareness to the fact that your brain started doing something else. And that's the key thing, is noticing it's switched from thinking about one thing, concentrating on where you directed it, and then it wandered off. And so you just bring it back and you think, okay, that's fine, we'll think about Sandra later. And then you bring your attention back. How's my breathing? Where's it going? How am I feeling? How is this seat comfortable? Are my trousers a bit tight? You know, whatever it is that you're bringing your attention to when it comes to your breath or teeth cleaning, notice the distraction and bring it back. And the more you do it, you'll find that the more in control you are of those thoughts popping in. And you think, oh, I've just noticed that. And if you do your mindfulness practice fairly regularly, you'll notice it all the time. So you might be driving to work or doing a task, cooking, and you realise that I'm trying to concentrate on the road, or I'm trying to follow a recipe, and I'm suddenly daydreaming about something else, or my brain is thinking about 7 other things it needs to do. And you will bring it back. Oh, no, I'm just cooking. And so it actually starts de-stressing your brain, and all those neurons that are firing in your head, sorry, it's the dog, every time without fail, she will bark. So yeah, it's those neurons firing inside the head that are making your brain almost overworked, and it does work hard all the time. And so it is just that realization and just concentrating on one task at a time, just to help calm it. And then I have found over the years, if I find myself in, you know, stressful situations, or particularly things like job interviews, or if I'm having to go into a meeting with people and I get anxious about meeting new people and things, and I start overthinking, then I find it really useful to think, oh, I've just noticed I'm doing it, and I'll bring it back to something, and I'll think, I'm just going to concentrate on the one thing I've got to do. And then it helps bring your stress levels down. And so I find the mindfulness practice, which sometimes is made to be this wonderful thing that only some people ever attain, is something that I use all the time. And as I say, I do it brushing my teeth, and as I go around, I think, oh, I'm on this tooth, and I do that tooth, and I'll think, how does that feel? How's my gum feel? How does my tooth feel? How is the toothbrush rough or smooth? I know it's really mundane and boring. I do have very clean teeth because of it. But yeah, whatever it is, washing up, wash your plate. How does it feel? Does it feel squeaky? Does it feel clean? How does your hand feel? How does the water feel? Can you hear the bubbles crackling or popping? As I say, it can be minutes, but you can do this, you know, for longer. If you go for a mindful walk, it's thinking even as far as, how does my foot feel as I walk? Do I stand on my heel first or my toes first? How does the ball of my foot react as I'm walking? How does my weight distribute between my hips? And if you really slow everything down and really concentrate on how does my body move when I'm walking, then listening, what can I hear? I can hear birds, I can hear the leaves, I can hear the wind coming through the tree. What can I smell? What can I sense around me? What energies am I picking up on? You can expand it and expand it, but it keeps your brain in this one place, and it's not trying to multitask, multi-process constantly, because we have enough areas of our life where we have to do those things. And so I do think if you are finding it, that you're looking for ways to calm down your mind. I mean, I was told a long time ago, it's like you're on a horse and it's running away with you, and you're frantically trying to stop it, but you don't know where to begin, and everything you try doesn't work. So I would say, if that's where you are, this busy brain, particularly when you're trying to do one task, like go to sleep, go to bed, relaxing, and you think, my brain will not stop talking, you know, it's the chatterbox going on, then maybe have a go at some really simple mindfulness exercises. There's loads on YouTube, and I'm going to try and record just a few and stick them onto our Intuitive Soul membership, so that they're there for anyone to access if you just want to have a go. You'll very quickly find your own way of doing them, and you'll make it fit into your routine, however that works. If you just want a few ideas, we'll get a video up there so that you can just get into that practice to begin with. And then hopefully, if you can try and do it regularly, as I say, I do this twice a day, 2 minutes in the morning, 2 at night. And I've really seen a difference over the years of being able to settle down. And when I am trying to go to sleep and my brain starts telling me all the things I haven't done for the children, or I've got their lunch boxes in the morning and then I've got to do this at work, and I'm able to bring it all back and think, right now what I have to think about is, am I comfortable? Am I relaxed? And now it's time for sleep. And I can sort of push all of those other things away because my brain has learned, oh, she's not going to let us do it. She's not going to let us run off with her. She's got hold of, she's got hold of the reins, and she's slowed us right back down. And then it's almost a relief that your brain thinks, oh, okay, I can relax now. So give it a go. And if you do any mindfulness techniques that you find really, really useful, please let us know, because it may be that there's other people in the community that will find that really resonates with them, because everybody's different, aren't they? No, everyone will find their own thing. I'm an obsessive toothbrusher, so that's why mine's teeth. But yeah, it might be that you like cleaning shoes, or mindfulness ironing. Oh, I don't like ironing. Anything. It might actually make it more enjoyable, to be honest. But yeah, if you do have any techniques or anything that you use particularly and you find really helpful, then please just let us know in the comments. And then hopefully we'll all find our own techniques of calming down our busy little brains. Not little, big brains. Our busy big brains.